Hey guys, welcome back to episode number 2 of my Planet Coaster Let's Play series. Today we're going to be working on our festive theme park a little bit more here and trying to kind of build some more rides and stuff and get things going to get some profits coming in. But first, I want to see, I think I might have figured out that I made a kind of silly mistake with the terrain tool here. I think that this flattened foundation, I think it's based on where the center of this circle is here. So it should be that if I do this, I think it's going to raise this, except the path now we may have to delete. Yeah, but that is the tool I was looking for. So let's go ahead and take this path out. Fortunately, making paths and stuff is super easy in this. It's really cool too because you can, using the terrain deformation and paths, you can make some tunnels and stuff that are really neat, which maybe we'll try doing that. Maybe we'll make like an ice cave here somewhere. But for now, we're going to do this, and then grab the flatten to foundation tool here, and we'll grab this part of the ground. I'm going to try and just flatten all this out a bit. See how the rocks move with it? Do the trees move with it? Or are they floating? We may have to replace these trees here. We'll do it like this for now. In fact, we kind of could probably pull some of this back out a bit. Let's do it like that, and then we'll smooth all this out like that. Okay, so then we can grab the smoothing tool, kind of just make these a bit more of a reasonable slope so it's not like a cliff face. Yeah, and we'll fix the floating rocks and stuff. But for now, I just want to see, is this path now looking better? Can we make it more of a straight line? I hope I didn't delete too much of it, because sometimes these corners... Okay, good. Won't be able to go back to 90. There we go. Yeah, there we go. A nice level path for us as we continue building out here. And we'll clean that up later. But for now, we've got a nice level path, and I'd like to see what kind of rides we have at our disposal. Like, I think... there's a fair number here, and then soon I'd like to get started on researching some new ones. But let's start out with another thrill ride. I really like the Wild Blue. This is a cool one because it kind of swings out from the main ride base. You guys will see. I'm going to place it like this so it kind of goes over the path. And let's make sure that this is at least close to parallel. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, close enough. Okay. So we'll just plop this down like right here and place an entrance just like here-ish, and the exit can be on, let's kind of make an angular exit. That'll be fun. So entrance is going to go like this and then come off back this way, and again kind of run the length of the ride. And I'd like another 90 degree. Yeah, let's go one more out and then do our 90 degree turn. Close enough. That's good. Alright, and then the exit is going to be... we need the top path tool. There we go. Like this. Yeah! See, they're autocompleting. This is really good. Oh, come on. There we go. Like that. Not like that. Yeah. I like that. Even though it's not perfectly lined up, we'll fill something in there. That's cool. I want to kind of move this tree out a little bit, too. Give us a little breathing room. Let's put it, like, here instead. There we go. Move this rock a bit too. I liked it like that. Okay, there we go. Little tweaks. You'll see, it'll all add up. We're gonna have a fun park at the end of this. For now, let's open this ride so we can start making some money off of it. $9. Nobody's gonna ride. Let's do $8. Man, I hope that there aren't too many people concerned about the prices here. We need to get some money going. I'm gonna turn up the time. Uh-oh, unhappy janitor. Because his workload's too high. Really? Oh, you know why? Because we are cruel taskmasters who have not made any trash cans yet. Oh my god. Do we have any festive themed trash cans here? Or we just got to use a regular old bin, holiday bin. This is holiday themed? Okay, if you say so. So, let's plop down some trash cans next to here. Definitely want one over here, preferably that doesn't clip through that orb thing. We'll just put it like here, and then could probably stand to have one down by this ride entrance / exit area, and You know what the heck, we'll put one outside of first aid. Anything else? I think maybe here, where they can reach it in the ride line, and also if they're walking down that way, and then one more we'll do back by the exit here. Okay, that should help the janitor hugely. Let's also do him a favor here. Let's look into our, we haven't really done this much, let's look into our staff like menu here. Wow, he is really unhappy. Let's train him, which will make him happy, and let's also give him a raise. He can make 150 bucks a week, I hope, at least. And that should hopefully make him a little happier. We're also going to give our guy here a raise. And you know what? I really like to train up my staff and give them raises at my amenities, just because I think that it makes them not want to quit, which is nice if you do put training into them, and also because I think they're more efficient at their work, which makes the guests happier. Alright, so we need to branch out a bit here, make a couple more connections to these thoroughfares, just so that people have some more options on getting around, because as you can see, it's a little clustered here. We can widen our paths, but we've started out with this width, and I don't really want to move everything out. It's going to take too long, so we're just going to make some extra connections here. So let's go into paths, and I think, actually, let's go into terrain here and flatten this out a little bit more. Where's our flattened foundation? Beautiful. I'm going to do some more of that. Clear this out. Man, that is really cool how it's just so slick. It's just so easy to use. Look at that. We're just flattening it all out. And it's 55 bucks? Yeah, alright. See, that's another thing I like about Planet Coaster, is they kind of encourage you to use these terrain deformation tools, even in parks that you're working on, like in this kind of a mode, without it being prohibitively expensive. Because I'm sure in real life, like, flattening out terrain like this is not going to be something that's cheap to do. Oh, while we're over here, let's remember we need to move these guys to be on the ground again. There you go. This was already on the ground. This, I pulled the terrain back up. You're not on the ground. You're not on the ground. Okay, that should be good. Oh, no, these guys are still not quite planted. My rootless trees. There we go. Looking much better over here. And I think I'm going to smooth this out a little bit again. Man, seriously, these tools are just so easy to use, which is something I'm not used to coming from, like, I don't know. I'm trying to think, like, I guess, like, a lot of other sim games, like SimCity and stuff, which are a little harder to use in those grid-based settings, where this is that more freeform style that seems to be more popular with sim games nowadays. I like it. So let's build some more rides. We need to get some more money coming in. I think, wow, we have a good amount of money saved up. Let's do Gears of Fear. This is a cool one. Rides, there aren't really enough rides in the game yet to really theme them to your park type. Like, we're doing our festive theme, but our rides are just going to be rides because there aren't a ton of them in the game at the moment. I have to say that's probably my one complaint about the game, is I feel like you kind of run out of stuff pretty quickly. But fortunately, there's enough to fill up every park, or fill up a good-sized park, so we should be fine there. I think we'll put this like right here, because we're going to have a path down the side. So I'd like to put a path in. Let's move this rock to like over here. And then we'll grab a path, and we're going to continue from this exit path, just so that it looks half decent. Try and line this up here. That looks good. Alright, and then continue out this way, and I think that is slightly off center, which we're about to find out. But, yeah, this is definitely... Oops, did I just put an invisible path down underneath this thing? No. Okay, so we're just barely off here. We can do this. Is that right? So, that looks right. Yeah, there we go. So now we'll pop this down right there. I like it. So, entrance on this side. Right about here. I like to, yeah, let's wrap them back towards the amenities. And then we're going to have to make some more amenities here pretty soon. And then we'll put an exit out on this side here. This is a cool looking ride when it gets in action. Looks like it'd be really fun to ride. It kind of like spins all around and like flips over. You'll see in just a sec here. Okay, let's pull this path down here. And that's long enough. It's probably maybe even a little too long, but let's open this. And how much is it? $8 a ride? Let's make it $7.50. But we're almost at the point. Once we get one or two more rides, I'm going to increase the entry ticket fee, and then we will eventually start bumping stuff back up once everything is really more populated and filled out. Let's check in on our guests here and see what they're thinking when they're leaving the park. Here we go. What do you think? Don't they hire any janitors? I bet Wild Blue 1 is intense. How's our janitor doing here? He's a lot happier. Oh no, he quit. Oh, geez. Okay, we're gonna hire another janitor. Where? I don't actually see too much trash. There's some down here. And you know what? We'll hire 2, just to get things cleaned up. They may be unhappy until we expand a bit, but we're gonna be building out big time, so we'll be able to get them all set up and with enough space to clean in no time. In the meantime, though, let's see how they look. They're semi-happy. You can't train people for a little bit once they're first hired or in between being trained. I'd like to get my mechanic boosted up a bit, though, too. You know what, though? 300 is... we'll do 325. You're going to keep the whole park running. You're basically the reason we make money, so you know what? Have some money. Wow, these come a bit close to each other. I like that. All right. Things are coming along nicely. Let's connect up these 2 paths here with a little more of this brick stuff. Do we want to come... No, you know what? Let's do it a little... Ooh, whoops. Let's do it a little closer to this guy here. That way we can just build like 1 or 2 things here and then have more rides right away. And we'll make sure that we get close because we've learned that angles can be deceiving from far away. And we'll just build this out a bit more. And these will connect up again, but we'll let things kind of work themselves out here. We may have to actually, before this becomes an issue, let's flatten this ground out here because we're going to have to break down this path. And it looks like rides kind of conform to their original spot. If you look at this weird deformation here, it's a little higher. Yeah, see that? And so I want to avoid that if I can. So what we're going to do is go back to the terrain tool, grab flatten to foundation again, and from here, just smooth this out. And that's the edge of the park there. So that's as far as we can go with our path. So we'll just kind of, let's close out this path here. Straight, straight, straight. Perfect. And then we'll turn. Actually, we got to, the way this works, it's a lot easier to break off like that and then delete it than to get it to turn properly and have like a 90-degree angle. Because I don't want this to happen. Stop it. Break some of this. Nope. Get rid of that too. And there we go. And then we can have this connect up. There. See, because then it does that slight bend, but it's hard to get it at that perfect bend otherwise. There we go. So now we have more room for placing more stuff down. We got a nice grid going. And we can kind of follow this outward as we continue to expand. It'd probably be a good idea, though, to at least have this wrapping through so we have more of an idea of where everything's going to be going. There. And then here. Looks good. Yes, liking it. All right. Park is really starting to take shape here a bit. Let's see. It looks like we can afford quite a few more rides. In fact, we might be able to afford our first coaster here, which would be pretty fun. And maybe we could put it on the corner of the park here, just because there's actually a half-decent view here. Most of the parks are weird, desolate flatlands outside of your building area, but here there's something to look at least. So let's see. Can we afford like what about like the Grendel? Ooh, I like the kind of fairy tale aesthetic. I know we're not doing a fairy tale park, but I feel like that's kind of wintry. What else do we have that we can afford? The Rebel. Ooh, I feel like that's way more wintry because it's like a little engine that could kind of thing. It's train steam engine or like Polar Express maybe. All right, so how do we want to slot this in here? I think we'll put it like back in this corner. Maybe we'll get rid of some of this path we've placed. God, it's so big, it's like hard to manipulate. Plus, I don't think it's flat on the ground. I think it's off the ground a bit. So yeah, if we get rid of some of these paths, will we be able to? No, it's just there. That's the closest we'll be able to build it. If we rotate it a bit, like that, it can go a bit over the paths, which is kind of cool. But in rotating it, it's kind of making it bump back into the unbuildable area. Wow, this is the closest it wants to let us build it. Let's plop it down and see. It seems like it should be able to fit in this corner. Let's save really quick. Let's just make a new save called 1. And See, if we bust up this terrain here, these paths, do we get, can we move it back into this corner? Can you just hold right click on this? No, you have to tap it. Bear with me for 1 second here. I just am very curious to know if, because generally, like, if the posts get in the way of a path, they just delete. But I'm wondering if they have to at least go down the first time and the path can obstruct it. Almost done here. It's hard to tell because of the way it previews it, what's there and what's not. Okay, let's see here. Can we move this? Yeah, we can. Okay, we're gonna do that. I'm glad that we tried this, because this is, I feel like, a much better location. Yeah, I like that a lot, actually, because it kind of pokes into here, and it's visible from the entrance. And this is actually one of the better roller coaster placements I've gotten to do in this game. And I think we will want to move it, if we can, just a tad bit back, so that we have more boarding room. Yes, there we go. Perfect. And that'll also give this a little breathing room, since that is a children's ride after all, I suppose. Can we actually... Gosh, sorry guys, I know I keep moving this thing again and again right when we think it's placed, but there's some advanced movement tools I'd like to try. Okay, we'll put it back where it was. There should be a way to, like... how did I get there? I think it is under move, but then you say, like, show more controls. I want to be able to reset the height. It's shift. Okay. No, that doesn't do it. Raise lower. Shift up and down. I'm moving the mouse up and down. Maybe this can't... Oh, it can go up. That's as low as it can go, I guess. Okay, well, we'll leave it. We got a nice placement. We'll leave it there. I just don't like always having to have stairs going up to them, but that's fine. Stairs are just kind of a pain in the ass to place. Let's go ahead and place our entrance here. We'll put it down on this side near where you board. And then our exit can go off on this end. And, because they all leave there, it looks like. Get our entrance path going, and we're just going to go straight down, because I've tried making wrapping stuff with this, but it just does not behave. So we're not going to bother, and we'll just go with straight lines here because of the staircase element. There we go. That one went in one connection. See, it's because these are slightly thinner. It's weird. They, like, their length is ever so slightly shorter. Anyways, so this will be fun. Since this is our first time opening this coaster, we have to run it through a test run. And now we can do our roller coaster tycoon moment and go ahead and jump into the ride camera once we start the test. And we can see what it's like to ride our ride. If you get easily nauseous, you might want to look away. The sound effects are decent. I like the wooden coaster effects more, although they're kind of lacking the suspense of the old games because they don't really have the tick, tick, tick and wind blowing sound effects. But yeah, there you go. This is our new coaster. Pretty fun. So now that it's been tested, we can go ahead and open it, and people can come on and check out Grendel, I think it's called. Or no, Grendel was the other one. Rebel, which we can rename later to be more Christmas themed. But one thing that will be fun to do is let's go ahead and deform the terrain around it a bit now that it's been placed. So we can give it like a little mountain area and stuff. Let's see. See, because, yeah, the posts will just kind of move with the terrain as you deform it. Let's get a little bit bigger of a brush here. There we go. Bring this out. I'd like this to be like a mountain. In fact, ooh, we could make this like a tunnel, I bet. Can we do that? Oh, you guys. Oh, you guys, we can make it a... Oh, we're doing that. So we're going to sort of do this. And then I want to make this smaller because I want to do kind of a what do you call it? Like a mountain tip that comes up through here. It's kind of hard to see exactly what I'm selecting here. I want this to come up like this. Yes. Cool. Like here. Beautiful. And then we'll connect this stuff through here, and this will be another part of the mountain. Thank God for the smoothing tool, because obviously I am having some issues here. Let's bump up the size to max, just so that we can get this all to connect up. And then we will do a bunch with the smoothing. But this is cool. Look at you guys. We built like tunnels for it to go through. We'll ride this again once we're done messing around with it here. But this is pretty sweet. Okay, there we go. And you'll enter, like, or your exit, like, right here. Okay. So it'll be kind of like this. Let's go in here. Let's make our thing a little smaller and just kind of pull this out a bit so it's more mountain-like. We'll bring this all out here. And this part can be kind of, yeah, cut into the side here. We'll actually push this back a bit in so that it doesn't look quite so unnatural. There we go. Oh, but we got to pull this out a little just so that it's there, a complete gap. Sweet, I like that. I like how that looks. And then when we smooth it, I think it'll look even better. Yeah, because this will kind of come in a bit. Alright, so here's this side of the mountain area. Widen this hole a bit, kind of smooth out a lot of this. We'll bring this up a bit so it's more of a smooth slope. Then up here, I'm going to pull this up a bit more because I want to have kind of a bit of a peak here. We'll do it like that. And then this can come out this way a bit. Sorry, this is my first time like really messing with this stuff, so forgive me if this comes out looking terrible. I feel like right now we've kind of got a really rough shape. I'm not used to sculpting in games like this. This is cool though. I really like, I imagine this what it's like. This is somewhat close to like the most basic version of using sculpting tools for like AutoCAD and stuff. If it is, then kudos. This is really, really neat. And feels very approachable, honestly. So we'll continue pulling this out here a bit, just to make this more of an even slope. And this is looking pretty okay from this angle. I feel like, yeah, sometimes it can be a bit deceptive, though. Don't want to overdo that. Okay. Hey, you guys, we got a bit of a peak going now. Smooth out some of the rougher edges here. Let's make this more pointy-ish. Have this a little steeper and less bumpy. There we go. Yeah, you guys, I really like how this came out. Check it out. We got a little mountain here. Oops. I may have poked some ground over here. Okay. Cool. Let's bring this up a bit just so it's more of an even transition. There we go. Looking good. Now we'll just push the smoothing tool over the whole thing. Clean it up so we don't have any of those weird rough kind of, I don't know, vector, polygonal edge things. This is cool. We got an archway here to go through. You get to go through a tunnel now. This is sweet. And then we can put some decorations on the mountain too. Yeah, guys, I really like this. It's a nice attraction. Let's ride our coaster again and see how it looks. Whoa, we kind of jumped in. Oh, have we caused a problem? Why did they stick there? Is this like, is this just a capacity thing? Are they sticking there because it's supposed to be like scarier? I think that is the case. I thought they were getting jammed there, but this seems to be a theme in some of the coasters on these. Yeah, I think so. I think we're fine. Okay, so that's kind of weird, but let's go ahead and try one more time. Ride our coaster here. And this is the part where we enter, so might as well. Yeah! Sweet! Going through the tunnel. That is neat. Cool. Awesome, guys. So, yeah, we've got our first coaster here, and we will continue to decorate around this thing and kind of add to it and clean it up. Maybe we'll add a couple more hills and stuff to here in the future. For now, though, let's just smooth out the border transition a bit, if we can. Holy crap, that is a bit of a snowdrift wall there. I'll worry about this later. Maybe we'll do some work. I'll work sculpting that a bit off camera. But for now, I really like how this came out. Let's go ahead and plop down a little bit of scenery here before we end the episode. We will filter this again by our learned nature regions, which is apparently alpine and Arctic. So let's go ahead and plop down some trees here. We'll put one here. Get one over here, one on the mountain here, and you know what? We'll put one like right here. Nice. Then we'll go ahead and grab some snowy trees as well. Here, 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 and right in there. And then we got the bigger snowy tree. No, yeah, the bigger snowy tree, which again we'll just kind of randomly. It really doesn't matter too much. I don't worry my head too much about where exactly I'm plopping all these down, just because once they're all said and done, if you put too much thought into it, you end up wasting a bunch of time, and they'll look fine. Like, it's when you think about how they're distributed on maps, like already, it's not like the algorithm does all that much work to make it like supernatural looking. It just looks fine, which is fine. We're kind of spreading some of these out that I didn't types out that I didn't bother placing before to other parts of the park as well, just because, you know, some variety is always nice, and like having a bit thicker or denser, I think, makes it better for realism, I guess, if that works. Let's put down some more rocks as well. Again, just a random smattering. Since this is a mountain after all, it would make sense that it would have a couple of chunks sticking out of it here and there. Cool. And let's put a couple more big ones down on the sides of the mountain over here. Cool. Yeah, I like how this came out. So, I think that'll do it for now. There's one last thing I wanted to check in on before we close out this episode, and that is under our notifications, or not our notifications, but our challenges menu here. We have achieved a bunch of our challenges by accident. Hooray! Challenge mode. So for achieving a park balance bonus of 20, we made $1,000, and another 1,000 for a monthly profit of $500 from coasters, and yet another for building a coaster at least 500 meters long, which is the coaster we just built today. Awesome. So here we go. We got our first coaster. Park has expanded a bit. Got a couple more rides added to the repertoire. And yeah, it was a good time. If you guys enjoyed this episode, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know if there's any cool stuff that I may be missing out on that you want me to share with everyone else. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, be sure to check in next time.